Hey guys, this is going to be another quick Linux command video. Check the link in the description for more info and for copy and paste examples. The Linux lscpu command is used to display information about the CPU or CPUs on a system. So cache sizes, to quote the man page, cache sizes are reported as a summary from all CPUs. So the versions before 2.34 reported per core sizes, but this was confusing due to complicated CPU topology and the way how caches are shared between CPUs. So yeah, just a note from the man page. But anyways, basic usage of this command is going to be lscpu. So this will just dump a bunch of information about the CPU. So there you go, ton of information there. Gives you like the caches, NUMA information, vulnerabilities, capabilities of the CPU, stuff like that. Going to tell you like the CPU family, the cores, the min and max megahertz, how many cores there are, the model of CPU, like this is an i7 9700K, stuff like that, right? Ton of information just dumped out. Now, another common thing to do is you just use lscpu-e, right? And that will give you this, gives you a table per CPU human readable. So a nice human readable table showing all the cores. It'll show you the node, the socket, the core, and the CPU. Shows you some stuff about caches and whether or not it's online, the megahertz, and so on and so forth, right? So that's that. This is what I find myself using most of the time, lscpu-e. Now, another thing you can do, you can actually specify, if you do E equals, you can specify columns. So for example, you can paste this in here, core megahertz, max megahertz, right? If you only want to select those options, you can do that, just like this. Now, obviously, check the link in the description. I have these commands you can copy and paste. Also, I have the most common options for this. There's going to be even more on the man page, but I have them in a nice table in the document linked in the description. But I'm not going to cover each option individually. I'm basically just going to go through the most common examples of this command just to show you how it works. So anyways, one thing you can do with the dash E, you can say dash output dash all, like that. And this will give you all columns. So there you go, a ton of columns, polarization, address configured, etc., online, lots of stuff, right? Nodes, clusters, etc. So lots of information. This also, gives you an idea of what columns you might want to select, right? So, all right. So, anyways, you can also use dash P. So this also gives you a table per CPU, easy to parse, right? So not as easily human readable, but this is easy to parse with a script. You see the header up here, so you can tell which column is which, and your script will be able to parse them out nice and easily. It's not going to have to deal with white space and stuff like that. So more easy to parse, right? And what else here? So there's dash P, and oh yeah, also with dash P, you can still specify columns. So you could do like this, max and min megahertz. So you can get some nice columns like this. And another thing you can do is use a plus to extend. So instead of just specifying this column and this column, you can use a plus. So that's going to use your default columns that you had here, like CPU core socket node, and then the L1, L1I, L1D, L1I, L2, L3, all of that. It's going to take all of these fields and it's going to add these two fields to that output. So add a plus, and then you're just appending columns that you're going to see. If you don't add the plus, you're selecting only these two columns, right? So hit enter, and you see also max megahertz, min megahertz has been appended to the output. So that's another really useful thing if you don't want to lose some of the stuff and don't want to explicitly specify everything that you need. So now you can say, another thing you can do is lscpu-c for cache details as a table. And I believe that's supposed to be a capital C. There you go. Capital C for cache details as a table. So details about each cache, right? like one size, all size, ways, type, level, so the level of the cache, sets, stuff like that, right? So really useful if you want to see that. And unsurprisingly, you can also specify name level. You can specify columns here as well. So you can take only those values if you want, right? And you can also, similar to the other commands we looked at, you can specify dash dash output dash all and get all available columns or fields for the dash C report, right? So you get all sizes, basically a whole bunch more options, right? So what else? So another thing you can do is, for your lscpu, so a lot of stuff here, you can get JSON output. So do dash capital J for JSON output. So it gives you a bunch of information, but in JSON output, nice and easy to parse here. So that's pretty nice. So actually, I'm kind of wondering. Yeah. So anyways. So you can do dash E dash J. This gives you a little bit different output. Basically lists the CPUs and all the information about them, but in JSON output. Whereas if you don't specify the dash E, it's just going to give you all that regular information without the per CPU information in JSON output. So there you go, worth being aware of. And that's about everything I wanted to show you for the lscpu command. That's all the basic stuff. There are more options and stuff. Check the link in the description. That's basically everything I wanted to show you for lscpu. Remember, check the links in the description for more info. Hit the subscribe button for more useful content like this. We also have a ton of other more interesting content covering things like coding, hardware, software, servers, Raspberry Pis, 3D printing, and a whole lot more. Hopefully you found this useful. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on that next video.